Kigali is now a very dynamic city. It is growing. It's still relatively small. I'd say it is still a virgin city. It's like there's so much to do in this city. So I think Kigali has a lot of possibilities, and that's how I see it.
Kigali is a small city that has refused to be defined by its geographical limitations. It is a very dynamic city that is taking up opportunities and making the most out of every opportunity that comes by.
The only way I can describe it to someone, for instance, someone who hasn't been there, it's like, I would say that Kigali is Dubai of East Africa.
This is Living in Kigali Show. As usual, we profile people and places here in Kigali. My name is Cynthia Kyuzuzo as your host. You're welcome. Electronic commerce, known as e-commerce, is a business model that enables businesses and individuals to buy and sell products online. Agriculture businesses, known as agribusinesses, are also embarking on this journey of e-commerce.
When you talk about agriculture, obviously, the biggest consumer there in the cities. So Kigali play a big role as a sustainable market to our farmers, and unless you are exporting, the next big market is Kigali. And I'd say Kigali, there is a lot of changes in terms of lifestyle, the way people choose to eat. There's so many gyms coming up. There's so many nutrition aspects which people are considering, and that creates a lot of opportunity around agribusiness. So the people now are becoming very selective. They're looking for quality. They're willing to pay the high price as far as the value of it in terms of food.
Is it their pico de gallo? Is it their guacamole? Janvier is going to take through us their delicious burrito. They have three kinds of meat. They have pork, they have chicken, and they have beef. So it's my choice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I want chicken.
Yeah, chicken is this one. Yeah, let me give you this.
I really can't wait to taste this delicious and good-looking food.
Yes, I know you're going to. So we wrap it. Let's go. It means that the taste you find from here is the same as the one with this side.
Now my burrito is ready. Let me taste it. Is it the rice? Is it the mango salsa? Is it the beans? Or is it the guacamole? Or is the way they wrap it up in a really, really fresh tortilla? This is Kigali segment, Living in Kigali Show, and I'm Andreas, your host. See you next time.
E-commerce is a trend in Kigali. For Kigalians to sell and buy online, it's something new and it's a challenge. What are other challenges that agribusiness is facing by implementing this business model?
They say they're not getting enough from the farmers. And they said, but it is, when you go to the farmers, they're saying that their products are there. No one is getting them, which means there is a disconnect between the people who need it and the people who have it. Yeah. And if you're going to go traditional, it will never, the gap will never be, connected. So we really need e-commerce. E-commerce, there's a good flow of information from the person who is producing to the person who is consuming.
Earlier, you asked me about cold room facility, if they are very affordable or expensive, really expensive, and it shouldn't be something I myself have to venture into that. So I have to really think how can I have these resources, yet it was supposed to come from someone else. So in terms of infrastructure, we have issue of cold room value to keep our producers fresh, because remember, people who are buying on e-commerce, they have an issue of trust. So if you don't have facility to really keep things fresh, it's going to be very difficult.
We have come a very long way. Where we are at in e-commerce today is very far from where we were 1 year ago, 2 years ago, and very far away from 5 years ago. E-commerce in the past few years was more of an elite kind of thing, whereby most of the citizens were not really relating to it. But today, and most probably because of the COVID situation, e-commerce has become our daily way of living. People have started taking up the way of shopping and having more trust in using e-commerce.
Regulations, sometimes they are not yet ready for the e-commerce. I'll give an example. In our model for subscription, we want to really start giving people debt or loans, so you can consume and pay later. But when you go to the e-commerce and how the consumer can really access their services, you find out there is a regulation in which you have to do this and that. So regulation is not yet up to the e-commerce movement, dynamics, and also infrastructure and human resource talent. Government is doing much, but those are the challenges. And I think people who are willing to invest and looking where to put their money, those are where like infrastructure in terms of logistics, transport, cold rooms, packaging, and human resource. The young people should learn because their skills are needed. And whenever someone is said there is no job, I'm sorry, but I feel like they are not capable. If you are really globally competent enough, the job is always there.
Hello, welcome yet again to another edition of the Wake Up Call. My name is Chris Vick and I'm your host. It's only here on Living in Kigali. And today I have a very good friend of mine. He's in the UK, but he is Rwandan. His name is Alex. I'll let him introduce himself. Very good to have you, Alex. How are you doing?
It's nice to talk to you as well. I'm doing well. What about you? How are you?
I'd like you now to highlight the different opportunities that you came across when you were still living in Kigali, in your field, in your IT department. The ones that you think someone who is living in Kigali should take advantage of, because you are now in the UK, but you look down up to today and you say, in Kigali, I know there's this opportunity in IT, and I believe someone who is in that IT sector should be, capitalizing on that, opportunity, or would I say on that railroad, or would I say that main road that is there, that platform in the IT sector.
We have like a backup system. We have a system that keep pushing us. So if really use our because I was going to say that already. So use the few things you have, plus the support you have from the government. For instance, like I was watching some videos, like Jaco was in Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw how these things it was all over the internet. Even this big newspaper, they were writing about it. If it's someone somewhere in Nyamirambo or in Kicukiro, that's a very good opportunity to just get that small exposure that Rwanda is getting from what's happening now. This this tournament that's happening in Rwanda.
Yeah.
How can you take that exposure that Rwanda is getting and make something big for me? Like you just let's for instance, if you're in the media sector, like this is the best time to publish more stuff about Jaco, because that's when you're gonna get more views.
True.
Like people are everyone is searching Jaco in Rwanda, Jaco in Rwanda.
I know.
If you're running a website or if you're writing like anything, this is the best time to get those traffic to your website.
So for now, e-commerce becoming a good tool for businesses to have. Does businesses need to have so much budget so that they can enter into the e-commerce? What does it take for a business to transition into the e-commerce business model?
All right. Maybe I can just highlight a few things that you need for you to be onto your products to be reflected onto a platform. You just need your products. So the e-commerce platforms, most of the time, just have someone who is in charge of coming to take photos of your products, because e-commerce is very visual. It's a matter of having a product, having the description of the product, knowing the price of the product, and then that's it. So when an order comes in, they just connect with you and tell you, yes, there's an order for this amount. There's another thing that comes in there is the logistics. The logistics is where the product moves from the farmer to the final consumer or whoever has ordered this product. So all these things can be, the e-commerce platform owners or the people who work with the e-commerce platform already account for most of these things when the final price is put onto the platform. So really, it's not expensive for a farmer to join an e-commerce platform. Yeah, they just need to know the right information and this is when I'm saying we have things like Iruzo. The moment you sign up, any question you have, we give you the right people to join with. So it's not expensive. There's only the onboarding fee for some platforms. Not all platforms charge the onboarding fee. That is the only charge that can be factored in, and maybe they should be thinking about when joining an e-commerce platform. Other than that, really, there's no additional fee for a farmer to register onto an e-commerce platform.
COVID-19 has accelerated the process. I think before that, there was obviously some e-commerce coming up, but very little about agribusiness, because people could easily find the food in a traditional market, open air market. But now the e-commerce is becoming an instrument or an opportunity for the consumer to not travel or move and purchase. Simply, obviously, the government movement restrictions has pushed either entrepreneurs in the space to keep innovating about e-commerce, but also in the consumer, because we have a really limited options in terms of going out and shopping.
When both sides are giving you a story, and IT gives you real-time information. You don't have to wait for someone to, call so-and-so and then call so-and-so and then find out, we need this number of kilograms and then we need this. With IT, as I said, you can even pre-order. So when I am a hotel and I'm saying I need, let me say, for example, 10 kilograms of potatoes, I will need 10 kilograms of potatoes. These are businesses that are running every day. They know their clientele. They can predict what they need. So they are able to make orders in advance. We have platforms like Ihaho. Ihaho buys in bulk and sells in bulk. So it's business to business. Yeah. There is also platforms like Kimirongo Market and the like, where they buy in small, in bulk, and then they sell to the consumer like the normal person at home. So depending on who your target market is as a farmer, we can connect you to the right person so that your produce reaches the people that you need them to go to.
Yeah. For people to be productive, they shouldn't be hungry. They shouldn't have a hunger. They should be very fit. They should be able to do work, to be productive. So our contribution and really hit those two SDGs in the same time. Against poverty and also against hunger, because when people, they can easily find food, because we are part of the food security system that we are building, then we are contributing to the against poverty, to the fight of poverty. Fighting poverty, you need to create jobs. Yeah, and the agriculture is really not currently. Actually, currently is the largest employer of the sector, but we now have to create off-farm jobs, which are not necessarily digging, because the young people, they don't have farms, they don't have a lot of financial resources, but we are entering a knowledge-based economy. So you have young people who can do marketing, who can do the urban farming, as I said, who can do distribution in a very different way, creating a market, packaging. There's so many aspects. But our contribution or our role is creating more jobs and opening more opportunities to other people, specifically youth, to come and join the world to fight against poverty and also achieve other SDGs, including Zero Hunger SDG.
To be honest with you, when I was in Africa, there's some jobs I thought that I can't even try. I would even try. So for instance, there's jobs in Rwanda. Or let me say Rwanda because I kept mentioning Africa. I think I'm Pan Africa. I don't know. But in there's this job. That, for instance, if you work in someone's house, it looks really bad for you. That they say, oh, this guy he numukozi wo mu rugo. You get me? So in Rwanda, he's a clean. Like, we take it as if it's like, oh, this is not a job I can do. But to be honest, when you see what's happening here, those are the jobs that people are really making living for me. They make millions. They live a good life from this simple job. So for me, what I can say is we need to touch in all sectors in Rwanda, all different jobs without picking. We don't have to be picky with the jobs we do. Do anything as long as you have a vision and you know what you need to get from that job. Trust me, any job or any business either, it can take you places. It doesn't matter which area you're working in.
It's time to change. The change is inevitable. You like it, you don't like it, it's time to embrace technology. When you see how Rwanda Revenue introducing technology in the tax collection, and I see also the consumer demand, yeah? You as a consumer, you change the lifestyle because Kigali is growing. You have a specific need you want. If the retailer doesn't really understand that, it's a challenge. So I think for the farmers, they have to understand farming is a business, and it's actually a business. You don't have to do subsisting farming. But also for the retailers, you have to understand the consumers of Kigali has changed the mindset. They are looking for into lifestyle. And if you don't fulfill their needs, you are out of market.
So yeah, Kigali is doing very well when it comes to e-commerce, but yes, we can still do better. More businesses need to go online. People are still using WhatsApp. They are putting their products on the WhatsApp status, and then you see a lot of dots, like so many pictures, and then you have to talk to this person, how much is it? There are better ways of selling your products than just using your WhatsApp status. It's better than using Facebook. There's also a different way you can use Facebook to sell, and it's in a business perspective, not just a social perspective. So yes, Kigali people are getting there with e-commerce, but we can do better.
I see a lot of potential. I see probably 30% of the consumers in the city will rely on e-commerce to get their food at home. And also we significantly see many people being employed by e-commerce. So there is so much jobs to be created by e-commerce. I can't be precise because things are very dynamic, but in my understanding, I think in the next 5 years, the e-commerce job will be the sexiest job for a Kigalian.
We really need to first look at what we have, because what we have is literally, it's like a real thing. But here, there's nothing. Everyone is just, they're just moving around trying to see. But in Africa, we have everything. The food, all the food we use here, they're all from Africa. Everything, they're all from Africa, which means we Africans, if we really focus on what we have and try to make something from them, quality, we can become like Europe. Africa can really be a beautiful continent in the future if we just focus on what we have and make it better.
Oh, those are very powerful words there, Alex. And, you know, they really would I say, really spoke to me. And it's good to know that you will be back someday and you will add on to the developing pace that Kigali has, or that Kigali is taking on, and Rwanda in general. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you so much for watching the Wake Up Call. It's only here on Living in Kigali. If you didn't wake up, then maybe you'll wake up next time. And until next time, my name is Chris Vick, and I'm your host. It's the Wake Up Call right here.